Infamous Trickster Gaming.
What is happening, agents? Thank you guys for checking out this video and welcome back to the channel. My name is Infamous Trickster and today we're going to be going over one of my new favorite builds in TU 12.1. Now I know I've definitely been away from the Division 2 scene for a little bit. My attention has been a little bit more focused on Ghost Recon Breakpoint and all of the features that that game has to offer. If you guys haven't heard about it or been away from it for a little while, they've definitely done a lot of upgrades, and updates have definitely fixed a lot of bugs that were in the game at release but have since been fixed. So definitely take a look into the game now, and if you guys want to see any of the gameplay from Ghost Recon Breakpoint, you can definitely check out some of my past videos, and I also have some playlists that you guys can take a look at as well. But let's go ahead and jump into this build for today. So we are looking at a hybrid build. We're going to go ahead and break it down and show you guys what we're working with here. So as you can see right off the bat, we are using the Technician Specialization. The main reason why we're using the Technician Specialization is because of the free skill tier that it provides. So we're going to be getting one free skill tier. So that's this skill here, Amped. And the other part that you're going to be using with this skill is Dismantling Tier 4 Passive Talent. 12% damage to drones, skills, proxies, and robots. And also with the Technician Specialization, we get the Artificer Hut. Additionally, you're going to be getting Overclocked CPU, which is also a 10% increase to skill damage. So all these work well with this build. Now obviously you want to be spec'd in whatever weapons you're going to be using for this build as well, so you just have to make sure you're spec'd into that. But because this one we're using an assault rifle, we have our point spec'd into assault rifle. So let's go ahead and break down the gear here. So first off, we are using the exotic AR, which is the capacitor. Now it's very easy to get this. You just have to complete 5 challenges in the summit. So once you complete those 5, you get this exotic weapon. Now the rolls on this one were not very bad at all. I mean, obviously they could be better, but we'll have to work with what we can get. So the stats on here: total damage, we're working with 106,000 damage, 700 rounds per minute, and 41 bullets in a magazine. Core attributes, we're looking at 11.3 assault rifle damage, 10% damage to armor, and 8.5 health damage. Now this weapon is very useful for hybrid build because of the talent that it gives. Capacitance, shooting enemies build stacks to a cap of 40. Each stack grants 1.5 skill damage. After 5 seconds, stacks decay 1 per second. For each skill tier, gain 7.5 weapon damage. So as you can see, you're going to be getting weapon damage based on the skill tiers that you're using. And on this build, we'll show you here, we are using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skill tier, plus 6, which is provided through the Technician Specialization. So let's go ahead. The next one that we're looking at here, my secondary, is the named 612 shotgun, the MOP. Now the stats on here are pretty good. 15% shotgun damage, 10% damage to armor, and 10% armor on kill. Now the talent I have on here is Preservation. Killing an enemy repairs 10% armor over 5 seconds. Headshots improve the repair by an additional 10 seconds. Now, to be honest with you, the way I actually use this is I don't necessarily use it to kill the enemies, because what I do is I actually take on the secondary weapon and let my turret kill enemies. Because as long as the weapon is in my hand, I'm still getting that 10% armor on kill. So that works extremely well because your drone's actually going to be doing a ton of damage. So that's the second one. And my sidearm, I only really use this when I have directives on, where you can only use the pistol or you can only get ammo from killing people with your sidearm. So we have In Sync on here. So hitting an enemy grants 15% skill damage for 5 seconds using a skill, or damaging an enemy with a skill grants 15% weapon damage for 5 seconds. Damage increases are doubled while both buffs are active at the same time. So you can see why I'm using this one here. Let's go ahead and get into the gear pieces here. So as you can see right off the bat, we are using the 3-piece of the Empress International. So the 3-piece gives us 10% skill health, 10% skill damage, and 10% skill efficiency. Now skill efficiency is something that's been implemented relatively recently, and it provides a lot of benefit to skill attributes such as skill damage, status effect, etc. Let's go ahead and break it down here. We're looking at core attribute 1 skill tier. I rerolled 10% skill damage on there, 10.3 critical hit damage, and the mod slot's 5.7 critical hit chance. The backpack that we're using is the named backpack Hannah U Forced Multiplier. So because we're using the 1-piece, we've got skill haste at 10%. Core attributes, we're looking at 1 skill tier. Attributes, we're looking at 9.1 skill damage, 6% critical hit chance, and 5.7 critical hit chance. Now the talent on the backpack is perfect combined arms. Shooting an enemy increases total skill damage by 30% for 3 seconds. So obviously this is going to be contributing to my turret doing additional damage. Now the chest piece is the 2nd piece of Empress International. This one, core attributes gives 1 skill tier. Attributes are 6% critical hit chance, 8.3 skill damage, and 12% critical hit damage. The talent on the chest piece, we're looking at Spark. Damaging enemies with a skill increases total weapon damage by 15% for 15 seconds. Now this works the other way around. Because my turret is going to be doing damage, every time it shoots an enemy, I'm going to be getting weapon damage on top of that as well. So you guys are starting to kind of see the synergy here. The gloves that we're using is a Fenris because of the 10% assault rifle damage. So this one here, we're looking at a Godwold gloves, 15% weapon damage, 10% skill damage, and 6% critical hit chance. For the holster, this is the 3rd piece of Empress International, 1 skill tier, 12% critical hit damage, and 3.8 critical hit chance. And last but not least, we're looking at the knee pads. The knee pads are from HYBRID. 1 piece is giving us 10% skill damage, 1 skill tier for the core attribute, 6% critical hit chance for the attribute, and 9.8 critical hit damage. Now on to our skills. So the main skill that we're going to be using, as I mentioned, is the assault turret. Now the assault turret, the stats here, so we're looking at 19 seconds for a cooldown. The duration is 235 seconds. Health is at 6.6 million. The damage is just under 112,000. And we're using this at skill tier 6. The 2nd skill, Artificer Hive, is actually increasing our damage for the turret. So let's go ahead and look at the hive here. Artificer Hive, this is obviously gained from the Technician specialization. So what happens is the Artificer sends out micro electro booster drones that expend themselves to increase allied skills efficiency and refresh their duration. Periodically releases a drone while holstered. This drone affects only your skills. So in this build, we actually don't drop our hive if we're running solo. Obviously, if we're running with a group, you want everyone to be able to benefit from the Artificer Hive, so you throw it in range of obviously your turret and everyone else's skills. If they're using another turret as well, you can throw it out. What will happen is it's going to boost everyone's skills because that's essentially what it does. So the buff amount is going to be doing is a 70% increase. The buff duration is 10 seconds. And this is also going to be repairing your skills. So what happens is it refreshes the skill as well while repairing it. So let's go ahead and we're going to jump into the shooting range just to show you guys what we're working with here. So as you can see, the base damage that it's doing is 111,000 without the Artificer Hive. And as soon as the Artificer Hive provides the buff, it goes to 146,000. Okay, so that's the base damage that this is going to be doing at this point. Let's go ahead and get some increase on this damage here. So as you can see, it's starting to get some stacks here, and the damage for my turret is already increasing significantly. We're already over 200,000 per bullet. So let's keep going here. Let's see if we can get this to max stats. Okay, so now we're at max stats. And we're going to get our drone to start shooting here. Now, if you look at the damage the drone is actually doing, it's actually doing 251,000 damage per bullet. So this is actually insane damage. Again, this is with combined arms and spark proc. So my bullets from my AR, now just keep in mind, this is a skill build, guys. I only have one weapon damage tier. And we're doing, alongside the drone, we're pretty much on par with the drone's damage. So we're looking at 274,000 damage per bullet. And my drone is doing the same, pretty much the same amount, 250. So you can see how we can actually drop NPCs relatively quickly with this combination. Now, the other thing I wanted to kind of mention as well, because of the fact that I have the Artificer Hive that's actually repairing my drone every couple of seconds, I actually tend to use my drone as an actual shield. If I have enemies in front of me, they're more likely to actually attack the drone before they hit me. So if I sit right directly behind my drone, based on wherever the enemy is, I can actually get them to hit the turret instead of me. Now that's actually free damage that my turret is tanking, because it's got significant amount more of damage that it can take because of the fact that my Artificer Hive literally has infinite heals for it as long as it's holstered. Let's go ahead, guys, and we'll show you guys how this works in the real world. I hope you guys enjoyed some of that gameplay. Again, this is the build that I've been using a lot more recently when I'm playing on harder difficulties, when I'm running through heroic or legendary content. It's a very versatile build in terms of being able to do skill damage while still putting out some decent weapon damage at the same time. Now, as you can see here, we don't have very much armor, but we're going to be trying to stay in cover as much as possible with this build. It's not a run and gun build where you're up in the enemy's face by any means. This is more of a stay in the back and snipe enemies as much as you can. So this is going to be it for the build video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I'm going to be kind of bouncing back and forth between Ghost Recon Breakpoint and the Division 2. Stay tuned for more Division 2 builds that I have cooking in the lab. So definitely check out the channel for future videos, guys. Like I said, if you're new, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future content. And until next time, Infamous Trickster out.
infamous Trickster Gaming.